I'm Lara and I'm here at Fluffy Thoughts Cakes in McLean, Virginia. This is Caroline. She's one of our head decorators.
Hi, Lara.
Hi. Today we're making a fault line cake, which is a new hot trend. And basically what it is, it looks like the cake is cracked in half and the inside of the crack usually has some kind of filling or decoration. Today we're going to be filling it with sprinkles and dragées in the middle to give it like a fun blingy look. Along with the fault line cake, we are now also going to be doing an explosion cake, which is filled with sprinkles, or sometimes people fill it with candy. It's a fun way when you cut the cake, all this stuff oozes out of it. So what Caroline is doing now is she's cutting a hole in the center. This is where the sprinkles will be filled inside. We like to soak our cakes with simple syrup to give it some extra moisture. Caroline is now filling the cake. So we're filling it with vanilla buttercream. She's going to just layer all the layers on top of each other, one by one, until she gets to 4 layers of cake. Are you doing 4 or 5 layers?
5.
Until we get to 5 layers of cake. With the explosion cake, we like to make them a little bit taller. Normally our cakes are 4 layers of cake and 3 layers of filling, but with the explosion cakes, we like to make them taller so that way more stuff explodes out of it. Now we're doing what we call a crumb coat. There are little crumb pieces onto the icing. Once we throw this into the fridge and it sets up, it all gets cold and held together. That way we can put our final coat on.
So we're gonna make the gold leaves, cutting the leaves out of fondant, which is like an edible sugar sheet. And then we're gonna get leaf lines imprinted with these molds. Then we'll go ahead and paint these with the gold. And then next we're gonna make the little rose out of the fondant. Dust it with some petal dust to give it some color.
So if you're on a tight budget, definitely think about leaning more towards the texturized cakes, the naked cakes, just simple designs. When you start getting into fondant and fondant work like this, or metallics, or hand painting or sculpting, sugar flowers, those usually increase the cost. So to be more cost effective, keep it simple with texture, very little buttercream and fresh flowers. It's always important to talk to your florist and your baker about the flowers so you know who's going to be placing them on the day of the wedding. A lot of times florists are scared to touch the wedding cake because it's scary to stick a hole into the cake, and once the hole is in there, it's there, you know, so they don't like touching it. So you have to talk to your florist and see if they're comfortable with doing it. If they're not, then definitely, you know, talk to your baker to see if they're comfortable with doing it or have time to do it the day of your wedding. And we like to wire the flowers because we like to insert the wire into the cake, not the actual stem, because sometimes we're given flowers and we don't know whether they have insecticide in them. So it's super important to talk to your florist about that as well, because you don't want something that's poisonous being inserted into the cake that people are going to eat. If you're having an outdoor wedding, something to think about is if you're having a buttercream cake, think about where you can put the cake indoors, because cakes are made from butter and butter does melt in the sun. So definitely keep that in mind when talking to your baker about your outdoor summer wedding. Yay, that looks so beautiful.